When I left Christianity and embraced atheism, it taught me a lot about my education in religion. And for me, number 39 was one that took me a while to understand. Polyamory is just as important as monogamy. Monogamy and traditional marriage isn't every couple's goal. So how's this different from the last one we did? Well, I recently talked about why society doesn't view anything but heterosexual, monogamous, going toward having kids and marriage relationships. Now we're going to talk about how it looks like to have different goals than the nuclear family. Like, how do you navigate that? Well, if you don't want traditional marriage, you may or may not want to be non-monogamous. How do people with open relationships or polyamory, how do they survive in a world that glorifies the exact opposite? Well, provided everybody consents and has open communication, that's a big if. I guess you get to a point where you no longer care what your parents or every ding-dong in society thinks. If I met somebody, I'm 99% sure I'm attracted to straight guys. At some point, I need to find out if that 1% that nags at me isn't telling me you only think you're straight because you've never grown up in an environment that recognized anything else, and I'll have to deal with that at some point. But how do people survive in an environment that does not value anything but heterosexual monogamous marriage? Well, set boundaries, communicate what you want with your partner, make sure you're compatible and that you're thriving, not just surviving. I mean, you're going to have some awkward conversations if you want to talk about it with people you know, friends, family, whatever. And it's not easy. What if you grew up in a home that's very traditional? There are certain nationalities and ethnicities that really do shame and ostracize women for not getting married and having kids. I'm not going to say what areas of the world, but I think we're all adults here. It's hard for gay people to come out to people who lived or their culture is very much in the eastern part of the world. So it's definitely not easy. And just because you think you want something does not mean that in the long run it's something that actually is compatible or will make you happy. That's why dating is important. And if not dating, then something that can help you find out what you're looking for. Maybe you just want to have fun, like whatever. Just make sure that the person you're with wants the same things. You have to communicate. And if you can't talk about it, you have no business doing it. So, non-monogamous, non-traditional, non-marital relationships heading toward the goal line, I think having a different dynamic can keep the relationship interesting. I mean, one of my favorite open relationships ever shown on television was Queer as Folk's Brian and Justin, where they're two gay guys one's in their 20s, the other's is in their 30s, and one of them likes being with lots of people, and I'm not judging, I'm just, trying to remember what the show's about. Justin's in his 20s. One of them's a little bit more romantic than the other, and the other doesn't want to ever step near the altar, dead or alive. So it works. There's a lot of ups and downs, but it works. Does it work consistently? I mean, they break up sometimes. but it is what it is, right? And the course of the 5 seasons of the American remake is learning how each other feels, what makes them comfortable, how they voice and talk about their desires. And I mean, it is, in my opinion, one of the best versions of having an open relationship. And King of the Hill, you know, they go into what ethical non-monogamy is. And I mean, not everyone is going to agree with it. Not everybody wants a committed long-term relationship where everyone has a gender role and everyone just gets in line and does their thing. So, as long as everyone's happy, I mean, I don't think I care. Live the life you want and leave people in peace. If you change your mind and you decide, you know what, I don't want monogamy, or I want monogamy, talk to your partner. And if you're not compatible, choose to be alone for a while or find someone else.